Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Cyclone Tracking 2 and today we're going to be taking a look at the preliminary forecast for the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. Now already most models are pointing at an above average hurricane season with quite a lot of storm activity to be quite frank. Now we've got some good analogues coming up, so make sure you stick around for that, but first the raw numbers: 14 to 17 named storms, 6 to 8 hurricanes and 2 to 4 major hurricanes with winds in excess of 111 miles per hour. Now these numbers are well above average, especially the latter end of those at 17 named storms, with the average being the 12.1. So we're really looking down at the barrel of quite an active season. 6 to 8 hurricanes, you can class that as fairly stock standard. We're not expecting a lot of storms to really intensify this season. Going in trend with 2019 and 2020, we saw an abnormally low amount of hurricanes in those years. And 2 to 4 major hurricanes is around standard for the Atlantic basin on an average year, but probably slightly below what you can expect on a below average year. Now our season analogues are as follows. 1887 is our top analogue. 1996, year after some incredible activity in the 1995 hurricane season. 2008 is also a good analogue based on the current climate. 2011 had a very powerful severe weather season, and that's really what we've seen already. The past week we've had multiple tornado reports and severe weather outbreaks. And 2013, wow, because we had such a warm year in 2020, we could be seeing the thermaline circuit break down. And that's exactly what happened in 2013. Now this is where stuff gets interesting. 2013 was not an active season by any stretch of the imagination. If the thermaline circuit does break down, we're really not going to be seeing much more than 12 named storms this season. 1887 is a worrying one because we had a lot of storm activity in that year. In fact, until 2005, that was our most active Atlantic hurricane season that we had, so that is a worrying sign indeed. Could we surpass 2020 in activity? That's anyone's guess. I'd give that around a 10% probability. And we know how things went last year. Most models calling for 15 named storms. We ended up with 30, so really anything could happen here. Could we be ending up with 34 named storms? That is anyone's guess, and I really do hope not. We've had such a busy few years. I just want one quiet year to be tracking. Likely tracks for these storms. Track 1 is an early season track riding up the Gulf Stream. This is what we saw a lot of last year, most likely before August, with most likely these storms being tropical storms, maybe up to Category 1. You're talking your storms like Dolly and Edward from last year and many others. You could even class Faye or Sandy as these sort of storms. The difference that Sandy had was that it was late season, but it followed very similar in track. Track 2 is a mid-season storm, most likely between July and October. These ones could be quite strong indeed. You're talking your tracks a bit like Teddy, maybe even Irma and Maria to an extent. These forming in the main development region, then going through the Lesser Antilles and parallel to the Bahamas, then onto the West Coast, can be very, very powerful, as I said earlier. So these are storms that we need to be watching out for. Mid-season track 3, most likely August to November. Now these ones are the big ones. These are the ones that we need to be worrying about because these are direct lines through the Caribbean, which is the most favourable zone of development in the Atlantic basin. Storms like Allen and Gilbert are very good examples. You could even to an extent say Delta or Isaias, powerful and quite destructive storms. These could be up to Category 3 or 5, most likely within the range of Category 1 to 3, but very, very strong nonetheless. Track 4 is a late season track, most likely after October, with a peak intensity of Category 2 to 4. This is what we typically see late season storms like Delta that collided with the US, Zeta of last year, and also to an extent you could say Michael of 2018. These are damaging storm tracks, most likely also quite fast moving, but could be very, very intense nonetheless. Now, what is driving our climate this year? Well, as you can see, we are in a La Nina at present time that is expected in the next few months to swing back to El Nino neutral, ENSO neutral rather. We could be seeing a weak La Nina develop by the end of 2021. Not sure yet, it's a little bit too far out still, but I don't think we'll be seeing an El Nino anytime soon. Our SST anomaly, sea surface temperature anomaly, is around 1 to 2 degrees Celsius above average. That's 2 to 3 Fahrenheit above average. Very warm waters indeed, especially in the Gulf of Mexico, where we're starting to see patches of 26 to 27 degrees Celsius enter in March, believe it or not. So really seeing some very worrying signs with the Atlantic sea temperatures. 31 degrees cannot be written off in the Western Caribbean later this season. One thing's for sure, I don't think we'll be seeing cooler sea surface temperatures over much of the Atlantic this year, if any at all. This is a worrying sign indeed because the main fuel for tropical cyclones is warm sea surface temperatures, so we're essentially handing this fuel to them on a silver platter. We'll be seeing some very, very strong storms. do. That's your preliminary 2021 Atlantic hurricane season forecast. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe because we've got the official forecast releasing on the main channel, Sergeant Tracking 2, up here in a few days' time on the 1st of April rather. We've also got a forecast releasing here on the 1st of April, so make sure you tune in for that. Leave a like on the video if you found it informative, and please be sure to comment some feedback in the comments. That's all from me. I'll catch you all in the next store. Bye.